I guess.
To the groom.
To the groom.
To the groom. To the groom. To the groom.
A typical stag, we have a ball and chain on most people. But we had a stripper that walked the bar, and the dogs were having a good time watching.
It's her first show tonight, and she was wearing milk-bone underwear, and it came off.
If marriage itself isn't a frightening enough proposition, why not turn it into a blood ritual? No, this is no bloodhound. It's the bride. She may envy Dracula's dentures, but she and her groom certainly have the leg up on fashion.
Anyone here who knows of any reason why these two should not be joined in matrimony, let them yipe now or forever hold their peace.
Since I was little, I've always liked the macabre. I mean, ever since I was real little, I've always been fascinated with, you know, kind of the dark humor, the black humor, and just kind of bats, haunted houses, everything. So I think, dream wedding was Friday the 13th of a full moon in October.
Unable to scare up an ordained Dracula in their hometown of Long Beach, California, these lovers drove to Las Vegas to find one. A very accommodating, rentable one in Bill's Sewers.
I enjoy it because it's simply fun. It's we provide a service that's so unique, and this is probably the only place on the planet you can do this.
But Cecily Desmond and Greg Milligan have to do it in record time. They only arrived in Vegas this morning.
You know, a pink shirt? No. We don't do pink. No pink. Purple? No purple. No pink, no purple, my dear. It's very nice.
With the wedding booked for tomorrow, their shopping strategy could be described as hit and run.
30 minutes.
They both grew up on a steady diet of the Addams Family, and the macabre may be the only thing they have in common.
I'm an atheist, and
Me being a born-again Christian.
And
debate religious things.
yeah, I'm a vegetarian, and
I love meat.
and you're a Republican, and I'm about as left-wing as you can get.
Yes.
And
Some personal data Greg would like to keep to himself, like the previous marriage.
no, you change that. Change it. Change it.
See that?
Yeah.
Okay. She knows about that.
Well, I hope I know about everything.
You're such a brat. 10 minutes. That's all it took.
Greg's parents know everything, including why they're not invited to the nuptials tomorrow evening. A Dracula-themed wedding? Sure doesn't sound like old-time religion.
They're shocked, but they'd wanted to come because they love her. So they think she's great. But yeah, the Dracula thing and the death and the cemetery is just like, they're like this. So.
I'm not really like a negative person. I'm actually a very positive person, but I'm a realist. And in reality, in real life, there's lots of darkness. And it's not so much a good or bad thing, it's just that's the way it is.
On a bachelor's last night out, carousing with his buddies is also the way it is. Blackjack, the slots, kid stuff. But Greg has other activities he's promised to put behind him for good. As dawn breaks over Vegas, Greg is still out there somewhere. The sunrise has got to send him to bed, doesn't it? Wedding day. Greg's up late and paying for his evil ways. Limo's waiting downstairs. How do you feel, Greg?
Just hungover, bloated pig.
noon on wedding day finds Cecily and friends Kelly and Michelle following their noses to the strongest cup of coffee in town.
She's getting 4 shots of espresso today. She's going to be up for sure.
Oh my God, you guys are gonna go crazy with your caffeine.
Being that we stayed out till 5 o'clock in the morning, a quad espresso is gonna just about do the trick.
Back at the hotel, Greg is doing his impression of the undead.
He's recovering from last night. He got home about 8 o'clock in the morning.
It's now 4 o'clock in the afternoon, an hour until the wedding.
Never do it again. Never again. Never do that again. Damn, sweat.
Time only for some finishing touches and then to focus on getting to Dracula's tomb on time.
I feel like...
Words can't describe how Greg feels right now. The atmospheric lighting, the music, flickering candles, not to mention the well-wishers in the crowd. And his bride appearing finally from the gloom. What could be more perfect? Only Count Dracula himself emerging from his tomb.
My dear people of the night, I am the Count, and we are gathered here in the silence of the tomb of Castle Dracula, and in the face of this assembly, to exchange the vows of holy wedlock betwixt this man, Gregory, and this woman, Cecily. Do you, Gregory, and you, Cecily, promise to let your love flourish and to be very strong so that it overcomes all of the difficulties of your life together?
Yes.
I do.
I ask you both to say together after me, to have and to hold.
Have and to hold.
From this day forward.
From this day forward.
I pledge to you my faith and fidelity.
I pledge to you my faith and fidelity.
Gregory, please place the ring that you do give to Cecily on her left hand and repeat after me. With this ring, I thee wed.
I thee wed.
With a prayer.
With a prayer.
That the love we share today.
That the love that we share together.
Grows stronger through the passing years.
Grows stronger through the passing years.
And lastly, I do ask of you both, do you, Gregory, do you, Cecily, solemnly agree to adopt each other's frightening personalities?
Yes.
Yes.
To always lift the other's spirits if they seem a little dead?
Yes.
Yes.
And never to walk through the cemetery gates, one without the other?
Yes.
Yes.
Then by the powers vested in me by this noble state of Transylvania, I, Count Dracula, do hereby pronounce and proclaim you to be husband and wife. Sire, you may kiss your lovely bride.
Right on.
My dear people of the night, welcome, Gregory and Cecily. My people of the night, please welcome the bride and the groom.
That was short and kinda sweet. No one's happier than Greg that this wedding was executed in record time.
10 minutes. No.
Hungry for some wedding cake made of liver and carrots? All the more for Malika and Jigger. If anyone present knows of any reason why these two chihuahuas shouldn't, don't answer that. Love is afoot in Victoria, British Columbia. 4 feet, that is. Hairy little paws that spend most of their time in the arms of their owners, Megan Perks and Aviva Law.
Ever since I was a little girl, I have been an animal lover. And my mom, she wasn't very fond of that. So she basically said, no pets allowed in this house. When you grow up and you get your own house, you can have as many pets as you want. So I thought, okay, I couldn't wait for the day to come.
It wasn't long before Malika and Jigger sniffed out Woofles, a little piece of dog heaven right downtown. Owner and pastry chef is Kathy Bender.
My husband and I, it's our life. We live and we work and we eat and we sleep dogs.
Okay, Kathy's got an excuse. Dogs are big business. And Megan and Aviva can't be blamed for having hungry chihuahuas. But their friend Erin Rempel, her love for Malika requires some explaining.
In some ways, I guess I'm living vicariously through her. But it's also a fun way just to have a good time with my friends and, you know, be artistic.
Art is supposed to imitate life, right? So who's heard of a dog romance? Nobody, until Kathy mentioned it.
She said, well, we're thinking about a dog wedding. And I said, no way. I thought, really? With these two? She's like, well, that's kind of what I was thinking. Would you be up for that? And I'm like, yeah, I'd totally be into that. I thought that was the neatest thing ever, and I thought, how much fun.
She's very good, they tell me.
But we sort of started out with who we're gonna invite. How are we gonna get 30 dogs? Because we had this number 30 in our head, and we thought, how are we gonna get 30 dogs? We don't know 30 dogs. So that was a big challenge in itself right there.
30 humans, that would be no problem. These out-of-towners would love to be there.
We have seen lots of things, but nothing quite like this in New York. Not a doggy wedding.
They're going to sign a pre-puptual agreement.
A pre-pup.
A pre-pup, yeah.
All right, guys, say cheese. Look at me. See, I took the first doggy wedding picture. How do you like that?
Erin's earned godmother status by creating Malika's wedding gown.
This is the dress that she'll be wearing, and this is the top. So it'll go like this. There is about over 1,000 beads, all hand sewn onto it.
Somebody's taking these nuptials very seriously, and I don't think it's the bride.
Dogs, in a sense, really don't, they're not going to say I do and get married, but it's a neat way for us to just kind of express how we feel, how we see how it's going to be, and it's a great way just to, like, get our imagination just rolling with it.
Jigger the busy bee.
Nothing wrong with Megan's imagination. Her little Jigger's now a bumblebee.
Say bzzz, bzzz. Jigger, you look so handsome. He looks like a white rapper. He looks like Eminem.
The cool look isn't for tomorrow's wedding, but for today's stag. Bartender Jerry Lang is keeping out any strays.
Here's Reese. Reese, have you got some ID? You got to be 21 to get in here, you know? 21 Doug years.
You try to blow my horn, strum my strings. That ain't the kind of music that a lady sings. You try to flick my switch, turn my key.
Say, is that a stripper? I hadn't pegged Jigger for just another male chauvinist dog.
You have a martini?
Oh well, what's a stag for if not to give a guy some leash one last time?
First time I've ever had real dogs in here. We quite often, any given night can be, well, maybe some dogs, but not real dogs. After 34 years of working here, this is the first. We're like people pass out at the bar. Some want to sit on the bar, and you have to tell them to get off the bar. And anyways, they all seem pretty good here.
This is Riley. She's a 21-year-old stripper. It's her first show tonight for the Stugette. And she was wearing milk-bone underwear and it came off.
Gee, some dogs have no breeding whatsoever. I mean, going after the stripper?
Yeah, this one was a little more rowdy than usual. Reese was trying to take the lady's pants off over there, and I never seen that before, to say, so.
To the groom, to the groom, to the groom. Yay!
Preparations for tomorrow's wedding are taking a huge bite out of these gals' private lives. Megan has regular hours to keep at a martial arts school, and Aviva's a full-time psychology student, or trying to be. Colleagues are beginning to wonder if they're not taking this a bit too far.
So many people have said to me, Megan, you're stressing. I'm going, I know, it's almost like it's a real wedding, and I'm so stressed out. It's like planning my own wedding, you know? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get this done, and what about this, and what about this? You know, I was like a bride planning her own wedding is what I was like.
Turns out Erin didn't have time to make the groom's tux. Just what Megan needs, more stress. No time for alterations either, or changing the guest list, which spells trouble according to one guest.
There is a worry. There's a Maltese named Nisha, who is quite a cutie patootie, but am expecting to be a bit of a rival for Malika tomorrow when he's here. So that there could be conflict tomorrow.
Conflict? That's a euphemism for sheer chaos. Today's wedding is supposed to be the union of two Chihuahuas named Malika and Jigger. And sure enough, in nearby Beacon Hill Park, family and friends are already gathering. Nobody's admitting it, but isn't this a practice run for the wedding these gals want for themselves one day?
Oh, every girl dreams of their dream wedding, per se, so. I mean, I've thought of a bunch of different things. Sometimes I think that I would love to have a family wedding back in Newfoundland and have all my family there. And sometimes I feel like planning this, sometimes I feel like I don't want to deal with that and I just want to go away and do it, you know, in some exotic island somewhere.
Malika is a little princess and Jigger's a little stud, so this is more their kind of thing. I think if they were people, this is still what they'd have. And if Megan and I were dogs, that doesn't sound good, but we'd probably have a different wedding still, just because we just have different personalities.
So, yeah, if I were a dog, I would want to be a little prissy dog. So I would like to be like Malika, a little princess, or I think that or else I would go the other extreme. I would like to be like a Bordeaux or a Newfoundland dog. Yeah.
See, I've always thought if I was going to be any animal, I'd be a wolf, so I don't know if that classifies as dog.
If it gets out that the mother of the bride is a wolf, this wedding could be in jeopardy. Jigger's relatives are all here somewhere, and they're a respectable and very well-dressed bunch.
She's 13. This is Grandma. This is her daughter, Cinder. This is her son, DJ, who's also the father of the groom.
It's a good thing Jigger's granny has his attention because Malika's eye or nose is already beginning to wander.
I hope their marriage will be happy because so they don't work too much.
We're friends with the groom. You know, we're hoping all goes well. He's a little young, but I think he's up for it. Yeah.
I think it's kind of weird that two dogs are getting
And the only thing weirder than dogs getting married is they're humans who believe it's really happening.
So with Malika and Jigger, after they get married, there will definitely not be any children. Malika's unable to have children, so that's okay. Jigger's accepted that, and he's okay with it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be asking for her palm marriage.
Aw, you love each other.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here to celebrate the union of Jigger and Malika. If there is anyone here who knows of any reason why these two should not be joined in matrimony, Let them yipe now or forever hold their peace. Jigger and Malika have prepared their own vows. Today, on this beautiful day, I, Jigger Christopher Perks, promise to love, honor, and obey you, Malika.
I've had a lot of people say, Megan, you're crazy. Your focus points are really out of focus. Like, what are you thinking, right? I think it's a really cool thing, and I'm doing it for the dogs and for the fun of it and the creativity. Like, I just think it's a really cool idea.
I promise to always share my bone with you because you will always be my bitch. May we have the collars, please?
Definitely with dog lovers, it's like, wow, what a great idea. I would love to get my dog to be married, but I don't know if there's any dog out there that I would want my dog to get married to. And then to people that are not as much dog lovers, kind of bizarre, like, why would you want to do this?
Therefore, by the power vested in me by the province of British Columbia and by the Church of St. Hydrant the Martyr, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Jigger, you may lick the bride.
Love, honor, and obey? I don't think so. All Jigger's thinking about is getting out of that overcoat. Or about a piece of cake. He's heard it's made out of liver. The girls can now relax. Well, just as soon as they decide where their children are going to live, now that they're married.
Yeah, Malika and Jigger are not going to live together after they're wedded because it would cause a war. It would be like, okay, who's Jigger? Is Jigger going to go live with Malika, or is Malika going to go live with Jigger? The dogs would probably get so stressed out and they would end up divorced.
Another wedding, more cake.
Here's some out-of-town guests. How are you? Got any ID? No ID? Oh, it's a stag. Never mind.